down over on Bitcoin dominance for the daily. We are trying to continue forward. So again, that's not very positive for altcoins because we do want to see dominance weaken while Bitcoin goes up in order to get an altcoin season. Stochastic is pulling back, momentum is weakening, and that VWAP does have a lower low, so that is a little more favorable to a break. This could be a rising channel. Remember, a rising channel is where the highs and lows connect pretty decently. So we may have a little narrow one right here, and then we could see a breakdown. Now, if we don't see a breakdown soon, it may act as, it could act as more of a bullish continuation. So I would watch if you're waiting for that altcoin season. We may be able to draw. So there's one touch to the bottom, one touch there, and a potential touch right now. So what we're going to want to watch for is a breakdown soon. If we see a breakdown over the next few days, then our altcoins could outperform Bitcoin, and we may have that potential back on the table. Our VWAP does have a lower low, so that is a little more positive for us for this to get that breakdown. Remember, lower timeframes need to hold more bearish in order for that to continue, though. Over on total for the daily, it does look like we do have the potential for a long upper shadow candle, so I would exercise a little bit of caution because this could be a bearish candle if followed by a strong red candle. Our VWAP is pretty flat, momentum is pushing up, money flow does want to gain strength, so Stochastic and RSI are pushing up, so we do look positive for a bounce forward. Remember though, that we are going to have a meeting tomorrow between the geopolitical leaders, and that's going to pretty much dictate the direction of the market, because if that meeting goes south, then markets are going to drop out of fear. But if it goes positive, markets likely would rally. Over on the 1 hour, Stochastic does want to round away. Momentum is getting a red dot due to the VWAP breaking down, so I would watch. We do have a shorter high here, so if we see lower lows, that could give us that bearish strength to weaken those higher time frames and bring us down. Over on Bitcoin futures, we are pretty flat, still within this pattern that we had. We technically tried to break out, got back into it. I'm going to delete it as it's really not valid at this point. Stochastic does want to push up. VWAP is pushing forward. Momentum is gaining strength. Our money flow is in the red, but if that VWAP maintains, we could continue forward and continue beyond our gap. Right now, we are kind of hanging in this gap zone. I'd like to see a stronger green candle push us above the value area high, get a retest and a bounce, and then see a continuation forward from there. We'll delete this random line here too because that's no longer needed. Over on the 1 hour, if we zoom in, we see we do have that we are hitting that gap zone right here, kind of hitting that, like consolidating a bit after we got our quick move up. This is more positive. We don't want to just shoot straight up, because remember, when you shoot straight up, you do come crashing back down. So us seeing a little bit of consolidation and a little bit of red here is more hopeful, because we do have higher highs and higher lows. Right now, they don't look like they connect, so this could form a bullish continuation. That VWAP is pulling back though, so watch for a higher low. We have a higher high. If followed by a higher low, momentum would remain bullish, money flow would remain green, and those higher time frames would start to strengthen, giving us that strength to break forward. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we are seeing the very similar thing. We have the potential for this to be a green candle. Again, we want a strong green candle next in order to give us that confirmation. If we see a strong red candle, then I would call this a top, and we may see a lower bottom. If VWAP does want to pull back, momentum is starting to stagnate, so exercise caution, watch lower time frames, and money flow is starting to pull back. Over on the 1 hour, there's our flag we invalidated the other day, so we'll delete that. We covered that yesterday, how that played out, so if you're curious why that did not play out, visit yesterday's video. Over on the 1 hour though, we do have higher highs and higher lows forming in this range. That is positive because, again, that can create that bullish continuation to help give us that push forward. Our VWAP is pulling back, momentum is rounded. We have a red dot, so watch that VWAP. If that VWAP gets a higher low, then follows it with a higher high, we could kick off a bullish trend that could start to strengthen us and run us up. But again, remember, that's going to depend mainly on the geopolitical landscape, and we have that meeting tomorrow, so it's going to be a make or break moment for us. If that goes well, if we get our ceasefire or at least get close to it, there's about a 75% chance on Polymarket if you're into the betting, so there's a 75% chance it'll go good. If that 75% chance is true, market's going to go up. If it's false, then we're going to drop down and possibly have some worse things to come, depending on how that landscape kind of turns out. So thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and join us in the Discord. I appreciate all you watching, and have a great day.